everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're not. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's still a beauty video but not makeup related. It's going to be how I style my curly hair. And I'm going to start off by saying this isn't going to be the healthiest way to style your hair. It's not going to be the best way to style your hair. So if you're a hairstylist, click off now because you'll probably hate what I'm about to do. But if you have curly hair, or if you're looking to create more curls in your hair and you're just interested in what I do to create or to hold mine, then this might be helpful for you. And I will also say that I have naturally curly hair, so what I try to do is basically lock it in place and avoid any frizz. So again, if you are in a similar position, you might be interested in what I do. If you don't have a naturally curly hair like mine and you're watching this video, I would say maybe skip the first bit of hairspray, because at that stage I'm trying to lock in the curls from when my hair is wet. Whereas if you're trying to create curls, you're probably better off creating that with the mousse and the hairdryer and then finishing off with hairspray. And another thing is that I haven't used any like serums in my hair or oils. If you find that they work, you have a good serum that works for you in fighting off the frizz, or if you have a good oil that helps nourish your hair if your hair is on the drier side, then go ahead and use that in your damp hair. But for me today, number one, I just don't tend to use serums and oils. And number two, I had a leave-in conditioner in my hair today, so I didn't want to add any more on top of that. I didn't want it to become too heavy and too overladen with product. So for me, a leave-in conditioner is enough before I add my styling products on top. So I think those are all of the notes that I just wanted to say and get out of the way as kind of a disclaimer. So if you are interested to see what I do to style my curly hair, then just keep watching. So I'm starting with wet hair from the shower. I've had it up in one of these microfiber turban things. I like them just because they soak up any excess moisture and they keep it nice and neat away out of my face while I'm doing my makeup. I just put on like a bit of foundation and brows and stuff. So it's been up in the turban for a little while, so the roots, or not the roots, the ends have kind of gone a little bit drier. So I'm going to add some moisture back into it. But before I do, I just want to let you know about what products I've used in the shower already. So at the moment, I have recently started using Mixed Chicks hair products. I first saw these when I was in America in LA shopping at Namie's, which is a makeup shop that carries loads of professional beauty brands. And I was in the hair section looking around and I saw these, and I saw that the brand was like describing that it was for girls of mixed race, and I was like, oh my god, that's me, maybe these will be my dream hair products. But I think at the time I didn't have enough money to get them as well, and I wasn't willing to sacrifice the makeup that I was getting. And then I saw them in Boots and they were on a 3 for 2. Now they are a bit more expensive than what I tend to pay for shampoos and conditioners, just because I tend to get just kind of generic brands. I don't really have like holy grail shampoos and conditioners, so I'm kind of hoping that these will be them for me. And so far so good. Now I have only used them a few times, but I am enjoying them so far. So the shampoo, what I like about the shampoo is that it lathers really well. A little bit goes a long way, and that's saying a lot for someone who has really long hair. A lot of shampoos, I need to use like a lot of product to really feel like I'm getting a good lather and getting it all over and dispersed evenly. And then I end up going through the bottle really quickly. So I like the fact that I only need a little bit of this. And then with the conditioner, I like the fact that it's a leave-in conditioner. So it does help with the styling of my hair, as well as just like nourishing and moisturizing when I'm washing it. So those are what I have used already today. Now, as I was saying, my hair has dried out a little bit since I got out of the shower while it's been up in that turban. When I was younger, I used to just literally squeeze my hair in the shower, get out and put product in straight away because I was so afraid of any little bit of dryness or frizz getting to it. But now I just keep a spray bottle of water where I do my hair, so I can just add that moisture back in. It's generally the ends that start drying out first and they kind of go kind of fluffy, and I just want to knock any of that frizz out and make sure that it's all frizz free before I lock in the style. So I'm just spritzing that all over, concentrating it anywhere I feel like it's lost the wetness that I want. And then I'm going to brush through it to kind of disperse. And then I'm going to brush through it to just disperse the moisture. So for my parting or crease, I used to do a side parting, and then I kind of started doing a middle parting. And now I just kind of let it fall wherever it is. So at the moment it's basically a middle parting, but it's not totally straight and centered, but I don't mind that. And so the first product that I use is mousse. Now again, I don't have like a holy grail mousse. So if you do, definitely leave it in the comments below. I'd love any recommendations for a good mousse. What I tend to pick up is, I think it's the VO5 weather resistant stronghold one. It's just in the pink bottle. And I find that works perfectly fine for me, but so do a lot of other brands. That's just what I tend to pick up. I think because it says it's weather resistant and it says that it's a stronghold, so that's what I go for. But I've actually run out, so I'm just going to use this little travel one that I have. It's Trevor Sorbie. Beautiful volumizing mousse. It's just in this little travel bottle and I only have a small bit left, so I hope it does the job. So I'm basically just going to coat my entire head in mousse, starting from the roots, and then I just kind of run it through with my fingers so that it coats all of the hair. And I like to make sure I concentrate it in at the roots, so I kind of put my fingers in and give it a good scrunch to get it in there, just to make sure that you have enough volume in the roots, that you don't get loads of volume in the bottom and kind of flat on top. So I kind of take it in halves. I just work on one half just to make it a little bit more manageable, and then once I feel like I've coated all of that half, I'll do the other side. And then I'll put it all together at the back and I'll run it down the back just to make sure that there's no bits in between that I've missed. And then I'm going to flip my head over and just make sure I get all the roots underneath and everything. Now again, the bottom half is going a little bit fluffier than I wanted at this stage. That's my own fault for leaving it dry for too long. So I'm just adding a bit of moisture back in, and I'll run over that with a little bit of more mousse. That's fine. And move on from there. So ideally you wouldn't wait that long before styling it. You just want kind of most of the excess moisture out of it so it's not dripping. So now I'm going to give it a spray with hairspray. What I'm using at the moment, and I find good, is the TreSemne Freeze Hold hairspray, and you can get it in a big can, which I need because I use hairspray even when I tie my hair up because it's curly and I've loads of flyaways and stuff, so I like to get a big can of it. So because I can get this easily, this is the one I'll use regularly. So kind of my holy grail hairspray then, because I like a hairspray that is literally going to freeze it in place, is the Aussie Instant Freeze Hairspray in Extreme Hold. Now I can't seem to find this anywhere. The only times I buy it is when I'm over in America visiting my mum. We do have shops that stock Aussie, but they tend to stock more of like the shampoos and stuff, but then I've never seen the hairspray, or at least this hairspray, the Instant Freeze one. So if I can find that, I will be buying that constantly and stocking up on it. So this one then I just use kind of sparingly, so I just use that at the end to finish off. So for the moment I'm going to spray all over with the TreSemne hairspray. So I'll make sure to get underneath and on top from both sides. I'm just moving the hair around so I get all in between. Flip it over to this side so I'm getting both sides. Now, as I would have said at the beginning of this video, this isn't the healthiest way to style your hair. I know that alcohol and all that is terrible for your hair, especially if it's dry or brittle. So I wouldn't be recommending to do this on a daily basis. I certainly don't, but this is just what I honestly do. Coat it in hairspray, and then I'm going to flip my head over and spray all underneath. So the hairspray has kind of locked in that style because I'm now going to just scrunch dry it with a hairdryer and a diffuser. Now I'm sure you're not supposed to hairspray your hair before you dry it, but again, this is just what has worked for me because I've tried just putting in some mousse, blow drying or scrunch drying and then spraying after, but I just find that it just frizzes it out too much. So this is what I have found has worked for me personally. So now that I feel that my curls are kind of held in place and aren't going to be kind of spread out too much, I'm going to blow dry. So as I say, I'm using a hairdryer with a diffuser on the top, and this one is just a TreSemme. I won't be able to talk while I'm doing this, but basically what I'm going to do is flip my head over, and then from the ends I'm going to scrunch it up and then dry it that way, so you're not moving the hair around, you're not kind of trying to disperse any of the curls, you're just drying them as they are. And I'm also then going to go in and concentrate on the roots, number one, because I don't want to go around with wet hair on my roots, and number two, to get that bit more volume in the root. And I'll use it on like a low, maybe a medium, just to finish it off and to get it nice and dry up around the roots, but I certainly don't have it on high. So at this point, I'll just flip back over and see if I need to fix anywhere, if there's anywhere where it's lying a bit flat. It tends to be at the back here, where it's harder to get that volume, because even when you flip your head over, it's still kind of lying flat against your head. So I'm just going to go back over the back here, but other than that, I think we're good. So what I was doing at the back there when I was drying it, I was just kind of pulling the hair out as I was drying, just to try and get a little bit more volume, especially just at the crown. So that's obviously added a lot more volume, so I'll just kind of shape it in place. I'm not going to run my fingers through it. I don't want it to like break up the curls and create any frizz. Just kind of taming it down a little bit, lifting up the roots. I can still feel some moisture up there, so I'm just going to take a little bit. So I just went over with a little bit of heat where I could feel a little bit of moisture left in the roots, because I don't want that to dry and drop. I want to be able to control what way it dries. So that's the main bit done, and then I just finish it off with a little bit more hairspray. This is the one that I use sparingly and the one that I find really freezes it in place. And that is basically what I do. So that's it from me for today. This is the finished look or finished effect. Once again, I know it's probably not the best way to do it, but it's been a constant battle for me over the years, and this is what has finally seemed to work for me and my hair. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in some way or interesting, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye guys.